Rachel and Mara.
Hello.
We are going to present you the exercise number 2 of month January. We are going to use as equipment a mat, a mini stability ball, and the support for the head in case that somebody has the head too much backward. She may need the support for the head, but Rachel, in her way, she does not need, so we will just keep the support for the head away. We are going to have the ball between your thighs. We are going to have the feet grounded to the floor, the body completely relaxed, comfortable, lying down, and the hands will be long by side of the body. We start with the 5 principles, Stott Pilates principles, which the first one will be the breathing. We are going to, we have two kinds of breathing. We have the rib cage and we have the diaphragm, the abdominal. So we are going to have the hands on the rib cage, on the ribs. We are going to take a deep breath through the nose and breathe out as much as you can through open mouth. We are going to start again to get used to this breathing through the nose and exhale through the open mouth, and then we are going to focus on the ribs. So it's inhale as you expand the ribs, 3-dimensional, and then exhale as you close the ribs, as you push air through open mouth. And let's try again. So it's inhale as you expand the ribs, 3-dimensional, and then exhale as you close the ribs. We are going to have the hands on the abdominal and feel the abdominal movement. So it's inhale as you expand the abdominal, exhale at the abdominal to sink deep the inside. Inhale as you expand the abdominal, and then exhale. The beauty in Pilates is that we focus on the deepest abdominal muscles, which is a transverse. And the way how you feel is that you feel that it's scooping, it's vacuum the abdominal, or we narrow the waistline. And for this, we need to really relax the superficial muscles in order to be able to feel how the abdominal is scooping in. The next principle will be the pelvis placement. So we have the hands wrapping, hugging the waistline. We are going to feel the sacrum down, and we are going to feel the hips, the bony part protrude of the hips. We are going to take a deep breath, breathe out, and then rock the pelvis as you move the hips backward, and the sacrum is going up to the ceiling. Inhale as you release, or let the hips moving forward and the sacrum down. Exhale, we're going to rock the pelvis backward as the hips going backward and the sacrum going up. We are going to repeat 2 more times, rocking the pelvis backward and forward. Then we are going to find the neutral position of the spine, which is the sacrum down to the mat. As a result, we will have a little bit space behind your lower back. The third principle will be the ribcage placement. So the ribs tend to be pop up when we move the arms. So we are going to use the abdominal to stabilize the ribs while we move the arms. So let's have your arms long by side of the body. Let's have the pinky fingers resting on the mat. We are going to inhale through the nose, exhale, raise the arms up and over the head as we keep the ribs connected using the abdominal. Inhale, raise the arms up, and then exhale all the way down. Inhale, we are going to raise the arms up, exhale, vacuum, scoop the abdominal in as you reach up. Inhale, stay, and then exhale all the way down. The reason that we have the ball is because we try to use the inner thighs, which is part of the core that we spoke on the first part, on the first hour video clip. It's to help to fighting the transverse abdominis. So as you exhale, we try to squeeze, to hug the ball, to squeeze the ball, and then it will help us even more to fighting the abdominal. So inhale as take a deep breath, exhale, squeeze the ball, pick up the arms up and over the head as you maintain in the neutral position of the spine. Stay, inhale, and then exhale all the way down. The next one will be the scapular movement and shoulder stabilization. So we are going to raise the arms up to the ceiling as we keep the ribs flush down, as we keep the lumbar spine in neutral position. So we're going to inhale as you lift the back of the shoulders up. Then exhale, we are going to retract and bring the shoulders quietly down to the mat. So we're going to inhale, raise the up, exhale, we can squeeze the ball, we can feel the abdominal as you lower, as you stay in neutral position 1 more time. So raise the arms up, and then exhale all the way down. We are going to bring the arms off as over the head, as the ribs stay connected, the lower back is in neutral position, and we are going to fight in the inner thigh. So it's inhale as you shrug the shoulder blades up, and then exhale and let the shoulders go down. Inhale as you raise the shoulders up, Exhale as you connect the ribs, engage the abdomen, stay in neutral position. Inhale, raise the arms up, then exhale down, hold. And then as a conclusion, we can lower the arms, we can draw circles with the arms as you keep everything in the right place. So we can inhale as you raise the arms up. Exhale, we open the arms to the side and swiping the mat all the way down 2 more times, the same direction. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale to the side and then down. Let's try 1 more time. So raise the arms up to the side and all the way down. And the question is how to move the arms as you keep your shoulders quiet. So let's reverse. So it's inhale as you keep your shoulders quiet, to the side, up, and then slice the air, let the pinky fingers getting down as you keep your shoulders relaxed, as you keep the ribs connected. So it's everything, integrating everything, which is the beauty in Pilates. The last principle will be the head and the cervical spine. So we're going to nod the head as you gentle lengthening the back of the neck. Exhale, you bring the head, the chin away from the collarbone. We tip 2 more times just to feel the movement. So inhale as you nod the head. Exhale as you release. 1 more time. So it's inhale as you're lengthening the neck. Then exhale, release. And we find something between when the top of the nose is up to the ceiling. Then we are going to implement in few exercises whatever we just mentioned right over, just now. We are going to pick up the ball, and the first exercise will be the ball under the sacrum. So have the ball under the sacrum. And we lie down on the back. And okay. So one question that I've been asked, where shall we place the ball? So the ball should be really down a little bit more behind the sacrum or the tail, to let a little bit the lower back to get freedom to sink down, to have the back freedom to both sink down. We are going to be sure that the feet ground into the floor and the hips distance apart. We are going to inhale as you let the sacrum to tilt on the ball. Exhale as you curl the sacrus, let the hips moving backward, and the sacrum is going up to the ceiling. Inhale as you release, and then exhale as you push air through open mouth. We are going to tilt back with the pelvis. And again, so I'm going to inhale, release, and then exhale as you turn back with the pelvis. So this is the pelvis tilt that we talk about in order to find the pelvis placement. And we are going to keep moving, and then we are going to find the neutral position. For the pelvis tilt, I'm using also to mobilize the spine and to prepare for flexibility for the exercise during the class. So pelvis tilt for me is very important in order not to find the neutral position on the spine, also to warm up the spine for further movement during the exercises. We are going to tilt backward the pelvis as you move the hips backward, and let the ball lift the body up to bridge. So from neutral, we're going up to bridge through imprint. We are going to fold the body down and then back, let the sacrum going back to tilt the pelvis forward. So I'm going to initiate with the pelvis tilt, and then we keep curling the sacrum up and let the ball assisting you to lift the pelvis up. In fact, to go into neutral in diagonal, fold the body, let the lower back to melt into the spine, into the mat, and then to release. The same exercise we can do 1 more time. So you initiate with the pelvis tilt, imprint, and then let the ball lift the body up to bridge, and then roll slowly down, let the lower back to melt down into the mat. We are going to pick up your right leg in tabletop position, pick up your left leg in tabletop position, cross the right ankle over the left, open the knees and let the legs that weight into your chest. We are going to inhale at your legs to the mat and feel the same movement into the spine, pelvis area, and then exhale as you curl back and then let the body to fold. So it's inhale at the legs to the floor and feel the movement of the lower back, feel the movement of the pelvis, feel the movement of the hips, and then exhale up. We can switch the left over the right and repeat the same with the left over the right as you let your legs into to the floor, and feel the movement, feel the arch, feel the extension, and then exhale, feel the curl and folding the body. Let's try just 1 more time. So in sort of through the pelvis tilt, to let the body rippling, flexion, and the extension through neutral position. The next exercise will be the side lying. So I'm going to lie down on your side. Have the ribs under your right arm, under your right side. Have your right leg bend, the left leg straight. Both of the arms over the head. Right leg bend, left leg straight. And then all the way over. And be sure that everything is in line. So I'm going to ask you to bring the hips forward a little bit. And slightly squish the forward of the hips. Yeah. And the left leg straight. And then you try to push the leg to reach away and let your arms reach to opposite direction, which we talk in the video clip number 1. It's about the contrast. Then, so feel the contrast between the hands and the foot, the heels of the leg. We are going to stay there and let the body get the shape of the ball to feel the stretch into your torso and into the side of the leg. Then we are going to have your left hand behind the head. And we are going to lift the torso and the leg in the same time. As you fold the body side, as you push the leg against an imaginary wall. So it's inhale, let the body melt and hovering over the ball, then exhale as you go up. So it's inhale as you let the body melt, bend over, exhale as you go up. So this will prepare for movement of the body in coronal plane. We are going to do the same on the other side, but we can repeat the same on the other side, but then we are going to flip on the stomach. So we come on the stomach without the ball for now. Let's have your hands by the shoulders, elbows by the ribs, and this is an exercise that's called breaststroke. I do like to have the legs together, hands by the shoulders, elbows by the ribs, and then the nose just above the mat. So I'm going to initiate with reverse knot, and then let the chest and the shoulder to scoop up without keeping the hands as an anchor, but without pushing with the hands. And again, so try to tie the abdominal and let your legs to reach away. And then inhale, exhale as you come almost all the way down. Let's try one more time. So I'm going to inhale, exhale as you start initiating with the reverse knot as you lift up. So it's the hold. And then almost all the way down to let the nose hover. Give me one more time. So I'm going to inhale, exhale as you lift up. As you got into the right position, when the bottom ribs stay down, the pelvis and the lumbar area is in neutral position, legs reaching away, we can pick up the hands up in air. And this is my favorite position. So breathe in, breathe out as you stay for 10 breaths. Feel the neck completely relaxed. So we implement the head and the neck and cervical spine placement. We implement the rib cage placement, the spine in neutral position. And then the contrast that let the legs to reach to one direction and the crown of the head to the other direction. Then we place the hands and come on your hands and knees, and we're going to use one more time the ball between the thighs and ready for the cat, which is a combination of all the movement that we did. So we're going to initiate with the pelvis tilt as you arch your back, as you lift the chest up. As you keep the shoulders completely relaxed, you're initiating the pelvis tilt as you round the spine from the sacrum, rippling the body to the head. Hugging the ball, it's helping also even more to engage the abdominal, so let the abdominal lift your back. Give me one more time. So initiating the pelvis tilt as you lift the chest up, arching your back, then initiating with the pelvis tilt as you round, holding the stomach, following the body. Then as a conclusion, we can go slightly backward without really sitting on the heels, as you focus on the bell curve of the spine, or focus to keep the shoulders relaxed. Let your hands, we can widen the hands, you can push the hands forward as you pull your shoulders back, so create the contrast between the hands and the torso without sitting all the way back, and then hold. We can walk the hands to the right and feel the stretch in your left side, which is a similar what that we did lying on the side. We can slide, we can walk the hands to the left and feel the feel the curve of the spine stretching the right side. And this is for the number 2 to be continued. Done.